Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mark, and it is Friday, and we're actually doing the call a little early today. I have to step out right at the close. We have the Russell rebalancing today, which should be interesting. Not sure how really it's going to go. For the last few years, it really has not been a whole lot of excitement, but you never know. That could change with some rebalancing that's actually happening. It could be fast and furious action, so we'll have to wait and see. But overall today, obviously yesterday's damage across the market, put a dent in a lot of these charts. And I think there's just a lot more time that's needed before we're going to see any sort of, real consistent move to the upside. I think, we're in the summer months, which particularly last summer was very up and down. The VIX, the volatility, everything spiked a little bit. And I think we're in the same category. And based on what I saw yesterday, which we haven't had a whole, a big mass, 250-point down day in a long time, I think we're in for a little bit more of that. Based on also what I'm seeing, the spiders did close below its 8-day and its 21-day moving average, which it really hasn't closed below in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And you can see I put the chart up. It did break an ascending channel, which normally is bearish and leads to more downside. I think another 2-3 days of digestion. We'll have to wait and see. You're probably going to get a little bit more downside. But if you get that downside, I do think it's going to be buyable. And I think best in breed is certainly buyable. My best in breed, obviously you can always start off with the Apple. But right now it's just stuck in a tight range between 575, 582. I know people ask me, should I buy it at 582? I've been stopped out twice on the idea. Every time it triggers above 580, it goes to 587, and then I try to hold it, thinking it's going to get to 600, yet it stops. So it just seems like it's digesting. I still have an options play on. It's just a little bit longer term, going out July, so going out probably to when earnings comes. Right now, it's just sitting in a range, and play the ranges. 575 lower end, 586, 587 higher end. In between that, you just got to lower, make your time frames a little smaller so you can actually capitalize on some of the ranges. I'm also looking at, on pullbacks, everybody was like, we talk about price, and we talk about yesterday's, last year's best in breed. Priceline is there. I missed the move from 580 or 650 to 680, but has now come back down to 650. You got to be patient. A few more days in here. Market, tries to consolidate a little bit. We'll see. It might be another buying opportunity. Right now, there's no play there. Something that worked today, which we've been talking about on the chat and mentioned it a few times, is Facebook. Obviously, last Friday was the day it had to move from 30 to 31.50, based for 5-6 days, which is really what you want to see from a technical point of view, a little digestion. It's now worked its way back above that, so it's closed above. It's above 33 right now, and it looks like it's on its way to the 34.50 to 35, in my opinion. And if it closes, anywhere above 33.59, that would be new levels for it, and it will find 35, 36 level near term. That's also helping in some of the other social media stocks, but I don't think there's a whole lot for us to really talk about in that respect. LinkedIn's hanging in there very nicely. 100 seems like that support area for now. 107, 108 seems like some resistance. LinkedIn is forming a nice bull flag. I do think it needs more time, though. Other best in breed, Amazon made a new high on Monday. Really 4 or 5 days of digestion. Nothing for us to really talk about except 220 is where I probably look 218 to 220 is where I'd be looking to buy. My buy area, 225 in that area will be my sell until something tells me it's really going to make another secondary move. I don't think the market is at that place where we're ready quite yet. Some of the other stuff, new leaders I want to talk about that every time it pulls back, I look for opportunities. SXCI hit a new high this week, 105, came back down to 94, 95. these are the new breeds of stock that we got to start watching. SXEI, ULTA. I know MLNX, I believe, is in that mix. If you notice, a lot of biotechs are really moving up there. I think you have to keep your eye on some of the biotech stocks and just minimum have them on the radar. Let's get to the banks. JP Morgan seems like some resolution in the debt that the losses have basically been covered at this point in time. That enabled JP Morgan to really recapture its 200-day. It's right hanging around its 200-day. Give it a few more days. Seems like it's at some point going to work itself higher. Might need a little bit more back and fill in for that to happen. But it's going to go back to JP Morgan and Wells Fargo as the best in breed. Wells Fargo looks like a decent looking chart, but nothing to talk about. It's been a quiet day today overall, and again, the rebalancing could change it up a little bit, but it's become rather than just take yesterday out of the equation, you have to be a lot more stock specific. It's not about what the macro market's doing. I try to really take that out of the equation right now. We're going up, we're going down. It really doesn't matter because individual plays is really what's happening right now, and I think that's the key to making money and really being able to capitalize on this tape. Find your sweet spot, do your work, and let it play itself out. One of them that I was looking at, it's not a great stock in the sense of it's been beaten up, but FSLR was also a play on Monday or Tuesday. Had a nice little bull flag and broke out of there today. We'll see how it closes. If it closes above 1550, still intact, and it looks like it could move maybe to 1850. Obviously, it's a heavily shorted issue. That's down around 88% for the last 12 months. So it's an underperformer, certainly. Oils and commodities. Obviously, oil has now broken the $80 barrier. From that point of view, and oil stocks have just gotten really, selectively hit over the last 2 days. OIH, the oil ETF, at basically a yearly low at this point in time. Some of the other ones that, again, got hit pretty nicely, Schlumberger, Chevron, and actually Exxon had a big day down day yesterday, but I feel like it's going to hold its 200-day at least this time around. So my next buy level will be right around the 200-day if it can digest around there for a little bit. So not exciting. I can keep going through charts and giving us ideas, but I think the key is it's timely right now. I mean, this is a fast market. You can see how illiquid sometimes this market gets. Second you're in something, it moves against you very quickly. You just have to have conviction on your ideas. It's the only way you're really going to capitalize on what's in front of you. Just going by a fly by the night, when somebody mentions something, you go after it. It's not going to work right now. It works when we're in a trending market, whether that's trending to the upside or the downside. Right now, we're non-directional. Obviously, yesterday's move could signal that we could be coming on the downside a little bit. Or on the other hand, it might, around 1,300, maybe 1,285, will certainly be a viable opportunity, I think, in the S&Ps if we get there. Right here, I think you need another day or two of this back and forth, little digestion, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. So let's see what happens on the rebalancing. And overall, guys, I think it's just do your homework, find your stocks. We obviously, have our certain selections we make every single day, but it's about having conviction. And if you have conviction, you're going to be able to capitalize on this tape. Hopefully everybody has a very nice weekend. I'll see you back on Monday.